Good day. How are you? Wow, I am ready to start a journey. How about you? You ready to start a journey? You will not believe what I've been through. First and foremost, we have a new baby, a little girl. And the funny thing is, the last time I spoke to you, I had boys, right? I was a mom of boys. It's been pretty much a whirlwind. That's her right now. It's been pretty much a whirlwind, but sit back, get ready, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Welcome back, everybody. Wow, let me tell you. Well, just to recap, the last couple years of my life following our journey over here on Fantastic Life, we were in New Jersey, in Succassana, and I was a consultant. COVID happened. We sold our forever home. We came to Florida, and we restarted our lives. My sons hung on to their hats, and they started their new chapters and journeys. I became a teacher, business teacher. Who would have thunk it? And then I was promoted to the dean, which is pretty crazy. But can I tell you something? That was such a rewarding time. I mean, all these children, I love them so much. I have my own kids, right? But these kids, they're beautiful. They're amazing. They're talented. And I love them. I just love them. They're amazing. And you know what? I love our community. I love it. I miss New York. I miss Jersey. But I'm happy overall. I mean, I can't complain, right? And all of a sudden, I was feeling weird at the end of November, and I was like, what is going on? And I went to the hospital, and I was like, I think I'm going through menopause. I think I'm making that woman transition of menopause. It's happening. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I lived until this point in my life. Wow, am I an adult? And surprise to me, they were like, you don't have menopause. I was like, oh, what is it? I was like, what could it be? They're like, you have pregnancy. And I said, pregnancy? This old girl? Oh, I've been put in the pastures. But they were like, no, you have pregnancy. And I said, this is impossible. And I went back to my clock. I went back to my calendar. I calculated the time, looked at the moon, counted how many stars were in the sky. And that's the baby right now. She is having the time of her life. She is. And I was pregnant. Well, anticipating another baby boy, I went through, my normal stages of understanding I'm pregnant. Told my husband, everyone in disbelief. And with that said, we come to find out our baby is a girl. And that, I think, was what was completely shocking to me, because, I mean, not that I couldn't have a girl, but like, wow. Am I mentally ready to be a mom of a baby girl? I don't know. But as soon as I found out, I asked my little mamacita, baby sis, to help validate the paperwork and look through the blood type and make sure, her eyes on it, and it's true, it was baby girl. So then we decided her name, and she is absolutely amazing. Amazing. The funny thing is, when I look at all my kids, right, and I said this many times, let's start with the oldest. The oldest was like, wow, okay, this is what my children look like. This is how my children behave. This is what it means to be a mom. That's, it's like first kid for everyone. Like, oh, well, who does he look like? Does he look like the dad, the mom? What color is his hair, right? That's like everyone has their babies. But then I have my second one, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second. He looks different, but he is a clone of baby number one. This is crazy. And, they have their own personalities, but at the end of the day, they're like the same, okay? And I always say my kids look like me, but act like Papi. Because it's true. If you see my husband and his sons walk down the street, they'll have the same walk. When they eat, they all eat the same. They all ask me the same questions. they all have that like crazy personality and humor. So then baby number 3 comes, my little boy. And he dead ringer for the other 2. It's like the funniest thing. And I mean, obviously they look alike because they're my kids. But wow, it blows me away. So then I'm pregnant with this baby girl. I'm like, what is she gonna look like? This is so insane because she's a girl. So like, she's gonna probably be different. She comes out and she looks just like my boys. It's the same. The same amazing little eyes, the same baby little nose, the same little button ears, button nose, same little baby ears, the little lippy lip. All my sons and my daughter, all my children have like their father's bottom lip and chin. And she has definitely his little eyes. And it's so funny. But this baby, she's not a clone. Let's go over the differences. Well, the only baby I ever remember kicking me was baby number 2. And he was definitely a kicker. Like, at one time, I thought a little alien was going to pop out of my chest and be like, hello, my baby, hello, my honey. You know, I kind of had that anticipation with him. But he was always gentle. Yeah, not this baby. This baby girl, let me tell you, she would kick me so hard, I thought I was going to fall over. She was very sassy inside. She would tell me, go left, go right. You're eating this today. I don't care what you have in your agenda. This is what it's just burped. Bless you, honey. She's like, this is what you have in your agenda. Change your schedule. This is what we're doing. Completely different. She's like, oh, you wanted to clean? No, we're sleeping the whole day. None of my kids ever made me like, oh, I need to sleep the whole day. She does. She made me. I couldn't clean. I couldn't think. I was in another dimension. And then the thoughts I had, I would be like happy little day, feeling great. And then somebody would say something. My sassy self came out of me. You know, if you know me, you know I'm pretty dry in my humor, straight up. But I don't go on the sassy route. Let me tell you, that came out of me. My kids were like, Mom, like, what's your deal? Now that I have her, that went away. So I know for a fact it's all her. It is. And then she sleeps the same way she slept in my belly. So she'll go on my belly, she relaxes, but she's up the time she was kicking the crap out of me. I think she knows I'm talking about her right now. She's like, whoa, this is private family business. Are you sharing this with the world? Like, kind of. It's like very diabolical. But yeah. But then we have her. And she's amazing. And everyone asks us, how are the boys with her? They love her. They do. They want to hold her. They take care of her. Not so much the diapers, but like just being a part of her life. And being a part of, you know, oftentimes what makes me the saddest is when I remember everything about my children. But my children, they don't remember. And I'm like, you don't remember that? You don't have that memory? No, Mom. That makes me sad. Like, I gotta cry. Literally cry if I remember something and my kids don't. And so I say to them, like, really absorb these moments with each other, but with her. Because she's probably not going to remember it, but you'll remember these moments. And it'll mean a lot to you when you see her do things in life. You'll be more proud and more caring because you helped raise her as her big brothers. The other piece of that is she has 3 big brothers, right? But my little son, he's still my baby. And he's going through something where he still needs special attention, love, and care. So I really got to make time for him separate because he's feeling a certain way. And that also is to be expected. That happens. And so I need to make sure that he still feels his special mommy love. It's really important. And the other 2, well, one of them is very independent. And the other one is starting to become independent. And I need to give him that. Sometimes my mommy self wants to grab him and pull him in and not let him grow. But I can't do that to him. You can't stifle your kids. You can't hover over them. Don't. If you're a mom or dad that hovers over your children, Give yourself a little space. You'll drive yourself crazy, you'll drive them away. And if you're a mom and dad that gives too much space, they're gonna long for love and care anywhere they go. They may just never open up to you. I like a nice little balance. Give and take. I won't ask for too much information, but if they offer it, even if I don't want to know about it, I'm going to be open and receptive. Because you want them to trust in you, love you, and be a part of your life, right? All right, we're going to take a break, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. I hope that wasn't too long. Gotta pay the bills. So let me tell you, it's tax season, as you all know. And some of you are like, whoa. No, Fantastic Life. It's not. No, it is. It is, because as of next month, we enter into quarter 4. And when we enter into quarter 4, we're in next month. Yeah, this is quarter 4. As we enter into quarter 4, what happens? February comes. The first Saturday of February comes. And we roll right into our taxes. And then we have up until April 15th to file them. It's the funniest thing that I mention it, because I always say tax season starts quarter 4. Why? Because you got to get your papers together. I've been helping people do taxes for 20 years. Yeah, that's a long time. And the one thing that stands in all my conversations with everyone that I never get over is when they hire me. And let me just explain exactly what I do. As a consultant, what I do is I meet with the client, go over all their paperwork, and then I have them process their taxes on their own, with me there, helping them, guide them, and I make sure they're the ones that really process it. Why? Because the idea is each one teach one. I want, as a consultant, not necessarily to have a cash cow. Making money is profitable is great. What I'm looking to do is teach about financial literacy. When you educate someone about the process, they end up learning more and being more efficient with how they save money and conserve those type of financial resources. So with that said, the same thing always happens. There's only like 2 people that I know that have their paperwork together, but the majority don't have it together. Every year it's the same thing. Can you send me the spreadsheet? What exactly papers can I go through? Can I claim this? Is this something that is viable? And everybody does that. But what's important to learn is, I say it's 4 steps. Okay? The 4 steps. The first steps start in quarter 4. Getting everything together, make sure you have all the necessary documents you need. The second step is really starting the process. Going through the forms, figuring out what can you claim. Do you have your children's socials? Do you have your 1099Rs or 1099 dividend miscellaneous? Do you have your paperwork? Do you have the stuff? 9 out of 10 your job hasn't sent you everything, but you can start the process, get things going, start figuring out what did I spend, pull out your bank statements. Some people don't even have receipts, so they got to utilize bank statements, which is fine. That's step 2. Step 3 is, after getting that to paper and processing, going through everything. Did I do this correctly? Where's the follow-up, right? That's pretty much really auditing yourself. Step 4 is the catch. So I noticed this year, one of my favorite things to say. So I noticed this year, you paid a lot in taxes, but your return, you're getting it all back. I think you overpaid your taxes. Now, those are 2 types of things. Some people overpay their taxes so they get that money back. Some people overpay because they didn't realize they were overpaying. So maybe instead of paying 25, they paid 50, right? My concern here is 2 concerns. The first concern is I'm an overpay. I always like to overpay my taxes. That way at the end of the year, I get that back. I just do. And then if I claimed anything or something came up, I cover myself. So I don't owe taxes. But if you overpay or pay and there's an overage, but this happens a lot, my thought to you, my advice is, instead of overpaying so much, split it into 1/3. Do 2/3 of your normal payment, and then that 1/3, that you're overpaying, take that and put it into a high yielding interest savings account, money market, or even an insurance, like a whole life policy. Because if that works out to be the same amount as you would pay anyway in a whole life policy monthly, because if it's a paycheck, it's probably week to week, they take it out or whatever your paycheck cycles are. If it ends up being something that would be in the same amount as a whole life policy, I say get the whole life. Whole life policies have fixed, standard, indexable interest rates. And that's what the rich people do, my friends. They buy whole life policy plans. What happens is, let's say you have a $100,000 policy. If you have a $100,000 policy, it's not taxable. And if you ever need to borrow from yourself, you certainly can. You could borrow from the face value once it's paid off of in the 1 year that you have that policy. A lot of people don't realize that. Now, why I mention this? I mention this because right now it is the season, and I like to give all this information to the season right now to be spooky and financially sound. And let your finances not be the thing that spooks you out. But the other thing with that is, I just went on maternity leave. I'm on maternity leave right now. And the number one thing I tell people, I didn't know I was going to have a baby, right? And where I work, you do your health insurance. Most of us have our open season to do our benefits. So you don't know what's going to happen. But what I always do, no matter what, even if I get all the medical, dental, vision, everything that you could want from a job's benefits, I pay for the additional insurances. I don't know if I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be out, but the one thing I know is if that happens, I'm covered. Sometimes at most I spend $26 extra, but now, for example, I'm on maternity leave. So I know in addition to what I claim with my job, I can in addition claim other things. For example, if you have hospital coverage, as a person who's having a baby, once you get into the hospital, you can claim your hospital coverage. That could be between $1,500 to $5,000, depending on what you pay monthly, what's your premium. The other thing you can claim is disability. Disability pays you for the time you're out. So at a minimum, it's $500 a month. Remember, when you're on maternity leave, you're not getting paid for the time you're out. Some jobs offer a pay or some type of benefit like that, but most jobs don't. So, you have to be smart. Now, if you're independently wealthy, disregard anything I said. But for the majority of you guys, it comes in handy to always prepare yourself. The other thing I say is start figuring out all your appointments. You're going to have nothing but time with your baby. After your baby turns 1 month, schedule everything. 9 out of 10, you have benefits, which is part of your compensation package. And you have things like eyeglasses, dental, vision, medical. And for the most people that have benefits, they usually don't make time for their appointments. So this is the best time to capitalize on your new glasses, teeth cleaning. Do you need dentures? Anything, braces? What is it that you need? Anytime I find out I'm having a baby, this is my 4th baby, so this is the 4th time I've done this, although I've had 5 pregnancies. I always say, okay, after baby turns 1 month, I'm going to go make sure I take care of all my needs. Every appointment I need. I'm not going to neglect myself because that happens sometimes. And then you're getting a benefit that you're not utilizing. The other thing is I also make sure on my husband's account, I'm always my husband's dependent on his account. But for my medical, I don't always put anybody but me. So I always make sure, did you claim everything you're supposed to claim? Because I am your dependent and you can claim it on your insurances. It is really important that you have that communication. So many young people, when they have babies and they're working, they don't realize they have these benefits. So I really want you to tap into that. When was the last time you checked what benefits are offered to you? Also, I'll mention this. I always get new glasses. It is so important to me to have glasses. I, as many of you know, can't see. I'm like a little bat. Blind as a bat. Well, I mention this because you can go ahead and buy the most fanciest glasses. But what I like to do is get the name brand and get only what I need. And it's usually 100% covered. Maybe a $15 charge. And usually people will say, wait, how did you get those glasses? You always have new glasses. I work my benefits. These are things that I'm entitled to. Or they'll say, hey, why is your smile so bright? I got a cleaning. Like things that you can do. Now, I don't normally neglect my health. I utilize my benefits the whole year. But I'm mentioning it with the conversation of having a baby, taxes. insurance, it all goes together. It's really important. If you can save the money on the taxes, do apply it to your insurances, and then make sure you cash in or you take advantage of those benefits. Think about it. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you do have these type of benefits, you really want to make sure that you capitalize it. Sometimes paying the extra dollar will cover you. For example, some of you may have dental and you're like, well, I don't really, I'll just get the free dental, the lowest cost. But then you find out you may need a bridge, or you may need implant, or you may need a crown. Had you paid that dollar during your offering, you would have been covered. Now, that's kind of the risk. The risk is, because everything we have, some things have zero risk, some things have a lot of risk. The risk would be, I paid the dollar the whole entire year, and I didn't need anything. Right, so you only invested $12. You're fine. Think about it in the long run. How much did you really invest? And then with that, you could always ask your dentist in a regular appointment, hey, do you foresee me going through any changes in my teeth? Any changes in my health? You could ask those questions. They may look at your x-ray and say, you know what, you do have a cavity here. You may need this in the long run, and start preparing for it. And then you may want to get an HSA or FSA and start putting money to the side to cover that expense. Things you can think about. Well, I'm not going to offer free services right now, but I did, and I wanted to mention this to you. Now, with that said, we're going to take a break, and I'll be right back. The other day, somebody asked me, did your husband get you a push present? And it was one of my friends who asked me that. And it was weird because I have 4 babies. And no, my husband didn't. But the thing about that kind of took me back a little bit was I remember different family members asking about that. And then I saw it on TV. Like, oh, this is a thing. Okay. Because remember, although I have a brand new baby, I'm old school. So like a lot of our friends and family do gender reveal and all these things. And I honestly, like even my baby showers, I'll give you an example. My first baby shower, my husband made it phenomenal. Like it was an event. And if anyone knows us, we got married in City Hall. So that was like our event. And we had our first son after being married for 6 years. So it wasn't like we, had a baby immediately. We didn't. We were married a while. And the thing about that, when we had our second baby, we had another baby shower that my sister and my dear friend hosted. For our third baby, everyone was kind of like, you're going to have a third baby shower? And what we did was I paid for it, and I invited all the godparents. And we wanted just to have fun. It wasn't really about showering, because this was our third son. But we really wanted to enjoy the moments. For all 3 of those pregnancies, we didn't have a gender reveal. We just told everybody, it's a boy. So when I had my baby girl, and knowing that I don't live in up north anymore, I live down in Florida, I said, I don't want to do a baby shower, kind of like, if anyone wants to do that, that's great. But for family, I'm really not going to do that. And I just want blessings because we're not near them. I miss them. So I really want to make this more about connection. So I always like to use the registries because usually at the end of your registry, you get a discount. So I always create it, and I create registries for a lot of things. So it's not just baby showers. Like if I'm moving, if we're planning a party, and if it's for my sons, a wish list, I always do that because I'd rather someone, if they're going to buy something and they're interested in using that, getting something towards the need rather than them getting something that's not utilized or them being upset if someone doesn't like the gift. That's kind of my way of thinking. So we did the registry, and then it was all obviously girl themed. And everyone was like, oh my God, you're having a girl? Like, wow, you're just going to tell? And it was kind of like some people, like the grandparents and the family we told. But for the majority, it was like, yeah, we told everybody at the same time. I really did that because I just love my babies, boy or girl. I just love them. And honestly, I didn't think it was necessary to do that. The other thing is, I wanted to know. So I knew. But anywho, so what's interesting is the push present. So I'm a type of person, and my husband can tell you this. If there's anything I want in this world, I can get it myself. And I like having that type of independent survivor, bring it back to the 90s kind of thing. But the other part is, I'm a person that I will not buy myself anything unless I set a goal and I complete the goal. And if I don't complete the goal, then I don't get what I expected to get for myself. So my pregnancies are at risk, and I'm high risk with my different health conditions. So I didn't want to do the push present because God forbid something happens to myself or the baby. I just feel like, they say don't put it out there, don't jinx it, all those type of sayings. That's how I feel about it. I don't want to do that in a situation. And the other thing is, my friend had a gender reveal party, and she thought she was having a boy, and she had a girl. So nothing is ever guaranteed unless it's your taxes. Okay, you have death in your taxes. Benjamin Franklin said it best. But with that said, I always want to just, I always err caution. I always err the side of caution. That's why I don't do that. And one of my very good friends, who I love so much, one time she was pregnant, and she was due 1 month ahead of me. And two things I'm going to share with you. And if she hears this, she'll know it's her without me saying her name. The first thing was, I was pregnant with my first son, and I never had a baby before. And I wasn't a quote-unquote, hey. She wants attention. I wasn't a quote-unquote baby person. Now I am, but at the time I wasn't. And I went to the hospital. She delivered her baby, and she was like, hold the baby. And I said, I don't know what to do. And she gave me the baby, and I felt like, oh my God, I'm going to drop your baby. She's like, no, you're going to be a mother soon. You're due next month. Hold the baby. And I held her baby. And her baby was amazingly beautiful. Oh my God, so gorgeous, so loving. And I was in shock. I was like, oh my God, I'm holding your baby. Oh my God. And it was because of her that I felt confident, because I didn't feel confident being pregnant the first time. But because of her, I felt like, you know what, I can have a baby. And it sounds so crazy. But we tried so many times to have a baby, and it didn't happen. And we lost our first baby. But she made me feel like our mother. I don't know how to explain it, but I love her for that. She taught me a lot. Whether she thinks she does or did, she did. Then she had her baby's baptism, christening, and baby shower. And she said, shower my baby with blessings. I gotta tell you something. We had a baby shower, christening, all this. And yeah, people brought us gifts and stuff. But her personality, her perspective was about blessings. Like, gifts will come and go, but blessings is what I need you to shower this baby with. It was such an amazing experience, even visiting her church. Me and my husband were like crying and in awe. And I was like, oh my God, like what? I want to be like that. This is what I want to aspire to. And it's because of that experience that everything I've ever done with my children, it was what? Let's admire the blessings first. Let's acknowledge where we get love from. Let's start there. And that is what kept us grounded. And it just does. There comes a part in your life, and I say this because I'm an older woman. When you're a young person, I'll give you an example. I used to love going to Tiffany's. I would go to Tiffany's jewelry store, and my friend Don worked there, and I would have an amazing time, and we were such great customers for Tiffany's. I would get invited to have champagne and caviar, and then one time I asked my friends to come with me, and we were spoiled. And let me tell you, that experience going to Tiffany's was really amazing. I worked in the city. Tiffany's was on Wall Street, and I love them. And I can't tell you how much Tiffany stuff I have. Being a young person at that time, I was like, oh, I want a Tiffany bracelet, or I want Tiffany earrings, right? And I wanted Tiffany's pen. I remember I said, if I pass this class, I'm going to get myself a Tiffany's pen. And I would set goals even back then and I would get it, right? There comes a point when you have so much Tiffany stuff. How much more Tiffany stuff do I need? Then I said, I want all these Pandora bracelets. Oh my God, I want all these Alex and Annies. And I'm giving you like the time frame so you could get it, right? Then I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just have a Louis Vuitton bag. I mean, I have them. Oh, all I want is those Michael Kors sandals. And I gotta tell you, I'm not bragging this. I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm really not. What I'm making a point of is there's a point in your life when you try to accomplish a status or status quo. And you need all these things in your life. But then there comes a point when you have them. You don't need them. And then you realize, well, all those times I didn't need them. Right? Sometimes you'll see me and I'll be bummy. Like, just bummy. Like, you know, I'll give you an example. Recently, I bought a pair of Barbie Crocs. But I haven't worn them. I'm wearing my old pink Crocs. Right? And it's funny to me because, I could wear those, but I just wanted them, right? The difference between want and need. I did one of these, wants and needs. Go look up that recording, right? That podcast. But the point of that is, do I need a push present or do I want a push present? I didn't need it and I didn't want it. And I'm at a point in my life, I don't need or want anything but a healthy baby. That's it. I said to myself, when I had the baby, we lost my Crocs, right? And, you know, some people don't like Crocs. That's okay. Crocs are lifesavers, FYI. I don't think they should be worn in school, but I definitely feel like for a comfortable day out, wear your Crocs. But, so for myself, I said, I'm getting myself a pair of Crocs as my push present, right? For myself. But we're so blessed. You know, there was this thing I wanted. I wanted a bog bag. Because the bog bag, you know, if some of you get diaper bags for your babies and the milk spills and stinks, a bog bag, you empty it out and you wash it in the sink and let it air dry. It's like the same material as a Croc. So I said, you know what I'm going to decorate that bag so it's just for my baby. And then when she becomes older, that's her little bag. She can keep it. And that's what I did. Because I don't need it, right? There's certain things that you realize. Young people, I'm telling you this, I'm talking to you. I'm going to tell you this. If you're a single person, get those shoes that you want. Buy that bag that you want. Go on those trips. Live that adventure. When you're married, learn your spouse. Love your spouse. Compromise. Because you have everything you ever wanted, right? I just gave you that free pass. Get it all. Right? When you're married, love that person. Know that person. Breathe in that person. I can't tell you how many times I do laundry and I smell my husband's shirt. And although it's washed and clean, it smells like my husband and it's such an amazing scent. Or sometimes I'll be standing next to him and I'm like, oh my God, I can just smell you. You smell amazing. And it's so important because then when you're married and you have kids, you got to rely on that foundation. But what foundation? The first foundation was you. Your foundation. You were the first one. I said to you, buy those shoes. Get that bag. Go get that jewelry. Go on that trip. You want to go to France? Go to France. You want to go to Jamaica? Go. You want to go? You want to go to Canada? You want to go? Enjoy it. Don't put that on your spouse to get that for you. You could have got that for yourself. Now push a pin in that and let's hit pause because now you're with your spouse. Enjoy those moments together. You no longer want those things. You have those things. You've had those experiences. Start with a healthy foundation of who you are. Maybe you're a person that you're not into any of those things. That's fine. Get your happiness. Find your peace. Explore your life. You can put them in different perspectives. Because when you're full balance, when you're full circle, you have full balance. Your full balance is the needs and wants and expectations of your life. That may be just happiness. That may be peace. That may be meditation. Or maybe a red bottom shoe. Everybody's different. When you're with your spouse, consider the unity. Consider the compromises. That's going to happen. But if you're sitting there like, what are you going to get me? What are you going to do? What are you going to do for yourself? What are you going to get yourself? Now when you have children, drop the bomb on y'all. It's no longer about you. It could be, you love who you love and You manage, we manage, but those kids need you. They need you to feed them, change them, take care of them. You can't just let them be feral. Your spouse still needs you because your spouse is like, wait, you were my best friend. Now you're being shared with all these people in this house. And you still got to be there for yourself. With that said, I thank you so much for listening on this amazing journey of fantastic life. Take care. See you soon. And don't forget, love you. Bye now.